Hey guys, Miss Sands here. So finally we're on to word problems now. So you do have to know how to solve equations still in order to do these word problems. We'll be translating the words into an equation and then solving the equation. So you do now is just to solve and check, but let's go look and see what you should write down for your objective. So please write down that we will write equations when given a sentence. We will solve the equations we wrote. And you will be doing your do now. So if you can hit pause and do the do now without just copying me, and then turn it back on and make sure you did it right. So if you can solve this equation, you can solve any equation that you'll see on your test. I really think this includes all of the steps. I think if you could do this, you could do anything. So 3x minus 24 minus 32. This is a -1 that's getting distributed. So we have 4 minus 2x. And right here, be careful, it's a plus 4. This is definitely a plus because negative times negative is positive. And don't forget we have this plus 6. Our next step for solving equations, the next best step, is to combine like terms. I really want you to combine those before you start like subtracting things from both sides. Look at, this is still like a mess, right? We've got 3 things on the left, 4 things on the right. Too much stuff, guys, too much stuff. Combine them. So this -24 can combine with the -32, so we have 3x minus 56. Only 2 things on the side. That's nice. And then over here, I can combine the 4 with the 4 with the 6. So I'll write down -2x plus 14. Again, just 2 things on the side. That's so much nicer. Now let's start doing those inverse operations. Let's start like adding or subtracting to both sides. I like to get rid of my x's from this side. I can't just cross it off like what I just did. There must be something I write underneath it to allow me to cross it off. The opposite of a -2x is a positive 2x. Or you can think of it as the opposite of a -2x is a plus 2x. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. It allows me to cross it off from the right. So now I have 5x minus 56 equals 14. Now that I just crossed off x's from the right, I want to cross off the constants, which are the plain numbers all by themselves, from the left. It's a minus 56, so I have to add 56 to both sides. That's what allows me to cross it off. I'm out of room, so I'm coming over here. So on the left side, I have a 5x. On the right side, what do I have? I have 70. Finally, my last step is to divide. So we will divide both sides by 5. And x equals 14. Notice it says we have to check also. Kind of like used up all my space. I'm coming over here to do a check. I'm just going to put a line down here so I don't get myself all confused. So we have to do the original equation. So 3 parentheses, x minus 8, close parentheses, minus 32 equals 4 minus parentheses 2x minus 4, close parentheses, plus 6. In place of the x, let's put a 14. I only look at one side at a time, so I'm not even looking over here. I'm going to do the stuff on the left side. I have to do the parentheses first. 14 minus 8. And then 3 times 6. And then 18 minus 32. Remember, you are allowed to use calculators if you're bad with those integers. Um, 18 minus 32, -14. So my left side turned out to be -14. I'm going to get rid of my scribble here because I do have to do that side. I'm hoping this side also turns out to be negative 14. So I have to do what's in the parentheses. So that's a 28 minus 4. I still have to do what's in the parentheses. So that's a 24. And now in the parentheses, it's just a number. So this really just says 4 minus 24 plus 6. So we work from left to right. This is negative 20 plus 6. And negative 20 plus 6, if you want to use a calculator, you can. But really, it's a negative 14. Good thing, because this side is a negative 14, and it checks. Okay, you have to know how to solve and check equations for your test. And this is just like a sample problem for you that you can refer back to, but we're going to do all of the writing of the equations together in class. Let's look at what my plan is. So what I plan to do, let's go over the do now, did it. It says write all equations from classwork together. So I plan on writing them with you. And then you're going to solve those equations we wrote by yourself independently. And then if you're in class, at this time you'll start your homework. At home, you just start your homework right away. And your homework is the problem set. It's pages 39 to 41. If we go take a look, in class, we're going to write all of these equations. And then here's where your homework starts. So you have 8 questions for homework. So let's get through this classwork. So 2 times the sum of a number and 5. So I have to do 2 times something. 2 times could be like 2 parentheses, right? Because I'm timesing by something. I'm timesing by a lot of stuff, actually. I'm going to times it by the sum of a number and 5. So to write the sum of a number and 5, it's an x plus 5. So those parentheses are necessary, actually. And then it says it is negative 7. So you would solve this equation and get a solution. But today our main practice really is writing the equations. Number 2, the difference. That's a subtraction. Difference means to subtract. The difference of, so I have to subtract something. I need to subtract 5 times a number and 6. So I have to subtract 5 times a number and 6. And the result is 14. The product. Product means to multiply. I need to multiply a number and 5. So it's just 5 times a number. Usually we don't write x5, right? A number and 5. We usually put the coefficient first. So that's why I wrote it as 5x. And the result is 80. These equations are like so quick to solve. So the main thing today is writing it. Twice, that means 2 times something. What do I have to twice? I have to twice a number. Twice, I gotta read it carefully. Twice a number added to 7 is 13. Twice a number added to 7 is 13. The sum of. These words, the sum of, even like in question 1 that we did, kind of is like a hint that there's going to be parentheses necessary. If I see the sum of or the difference of, most likely I'm going to need parentheses. The sum of a number and 6 is 14. So I could do a number plus negative 6 is 14. So in this case, the parentheses really weren't necessary. I had said a lot of times when you see the words the sum of, it gives you a hint that parentheses are necessary, but in this case I could have written as just n plus negative 6 equals 4. The difference means to subtract of a number and 3. So a number and negative 3. So I have to do the difference of a number and negative 3. I dislike when I see n minus negative 3, but that's really what the words tell me to write. If I were to solve this, I would rewrite it as n plus 3 equals 8, because minus negative is really plus positive. This is real important, subtracted from. Okay, we know we have to subtract, but we're subtracting 12 from something. So when I write this, the 12 is after the minus sign. I have to do 3 times the number first and then subtract 12. And the result is 15. And then quotient means to divide. So the quotient of a number and 4. Now when we're doing algebra, we don't like using a division sign like that. We like to use that fraction bar, right? So the quotient of a number and 4 is negative 8. Would be written this way. So during a season, Michael Jordan scored 92 fewer than twice the number of points Brad Daugherty scored. Larry Bird scored 795 more points than Daugherty. So look at they're comparing both Michael Jordan and Larry Bird to this guy, Brad Daugherty. I don't know who he is. Maybe you guys do. So I don't know how many points he has. So this is a case where we have to use like let statements. I know you did this last year in 7th grade. I'm going to let x equal the number of points that Brad Daugherty has. So if x is the number of points that Daugherty has, now I can write something for Michael Jordan. The number of points that Jordan has is 92 fewer than twice Brad's. 92 fewer means to take away 92 from something. I'm taking it away from twice what Daugherty has. So 2x, because x was what Daugherty has. And then finally, Larry Bird has 795 more. That means added on. So whatever Daugherty had, we add on 795. And that's what Larry Bird has. Finally, all together. That means add them all up, right? All together, the 3 players scored 6,623 points. So, Daugherty plus Jordan plus Bird is 6,623. So we just have to make sure we're careful with our let statements and writing our final equation. So on this one, I'm going to do this one with you. We would combine like terms. So that's a 4x. And then I have to combine this negative 92 with the 795. So negative 92 with 795 is 703. So let's subtract 703 from both sides. And then let's divide by 4. $14.80. How many points did each player? So right now, I only have what x is. So I have to say what each player had. So if x is Doherty, that means Doherty has 1,480. Jordan, I'm coming over to my let statement, is 2 times that x, and then take away 92. So let's use that calculator again. So 2 times 1,480, and then subtract 92 is 2,868. 2,868 is Jordan. And then Bird would be the 1,480 plus the 795. And that's 2,275. And then number 10, a piece of rope is 79 centimeters long. So if I draw a piece of rope from here to here, this whole thing is 79 centimeters long. But it's cut into 3 pieces, so I'm just going to randomly cut it. The longest piece, I guess I'll just call this end piece over here the longest piece. The longest piece is 3 times as long as the shortest piece. I'm going to call this one the shortest over here. I'll call this one, I said, the longest. So if the longest piece is 3 times as long as the shortest piece, I don't know about the shortest piece, so I'll call it x. The longest piece is 3 times, so I guess that's a 3x. And then the middle piece is 14 longer than the shortest piece. 14 longer than means add on. So whatever the shortest piece is, I have to add on the 14. And now it says find the length of the 3 pieces. So this diagram helps me see that these 3 pieces put together make the 79. So I'm just going to block this off here. So the shortest piece plus the middle piece plus the longest piece is 79. Let's solve this one together too. We'll combine the like terms. That's a 5x. And then we subtract the 14 from both sides. And then we divide both sides by 5. So I get 13 for x, but it says find the length of the 3 pieces. So again, we have to go back to our let statements. Our let statements in this case happen to be the diagram. So right here in the diagram, I can say that this is 13 centimeters. This one is 13 plus 14, which is 27 centimeters. And then this last one is 3 times 13, which makes it 39 centimeters. So that's our classwork. I'm not going to make you go back and solve those simpler equations. We wrote them all with words, and now you have to do the problem set. For the problem set, you do have to write the equation and solve it. Well, classwork, we're done for now. So when I ask you to submit the classwork, you're going to submit these things that we wrote together, and the homework is what you're doing on your own. So have a good day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.